Hello and welcome, my name's Rob, aka Robbie Roams, and I absolutely love to travel, make YouTube videos and generally make a fool out of myself. So in January 2022, me and Jazz headed on a life-changing 4-month backpacking trip across South America.
So this place is absolutely barking mad. I mean, we've been to some weird and wonderful places, especially in Asia, but this place takes the biscuit.
So sit back, relax, and over the next 3 episodes, join us on this epic journey.
Strangely enough, that there is Pablo Escobar's grave.
By the way, if you're after some South America travel tips, have nothing else better to watch, or you want to see me and Jazz, aka the Super Gringos, trying to navigate around this weird and wonderful continent, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn notifications on. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, this is 4 months in South America. Coming up in episode 1, we try and get acquainted with life in South America in the brilliant countries of Ecuador and Panama, where we take in some of the culture.
Jazz has been moaning she's hungry, and I think I've just found her dinner. Guinea pig, anyone?
Get stuck into some of the adrenaline fueled activities.
What are we doing?
And also get a little too close to some of the wildlife. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there was potential for us to be eaten alive twice in this episode. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The journey to South America began with a quick flight to Madrid before heading on to Quito in Ecuador.
Right guys, we've had a day of travelling and it feels like a day, it's not a full day. We're at Madrid airport, so we flew here from London and then we're going to get on the next flight to Quito in Ecuador. It's been a bit stressful. We've had to use like about 5 different forms, so they want to see COVID vaccine, PCR test, something else and something else. Yeah, the queue to get our boarding pass was like ridiculous. We couldn't do it online for some reason. Anyway, we've just come to the bar, as you can see here, just to get a couple of drinks because we're sweating. And me practicing my amazing Spanish, I managed to pretty much get the order right, except Jazz asked for a glass of red wine and yeah, grande. I thought would be a large glass, but obviously not. So my Spanish has got a bit of work, but other than that, we're all good. We've got like a 10-hour flight in about an hour's time, so we'll sink a couple of red wines and hopefully that'll help us get a bit of kip. But yeah, all good in the hood. So we finally got into our accommodation in Quito. It feels like about 3 days since we left Rugby and got on this voyage, but we're here. The flight was a mission. It was 11 hours from Madrid, but we knew what we were getting ourselves in for. It just wasn't the most comfy plane, but we can't moan really, it was cheap.
After a good night's rest, we woke up to explore the first ever UNESCO World Heritage City of Quito. First up was the Teleferico, which was a cable car system taking you high above the city. We were really struggling with altitude, so why we decided to go even higher was pretty much beyond me, but we did it anyway.
So we've reached the Teleferico, which is the cable car that takes us to the mountain that overlooks Quito, and it was a $5 taxi up here from the hostel. We've been using Ubers because they're just a lot more convenient and apparently a bit safer. But yeah, hopefully we're going to get to the top and get a pretty banging view of downtown Quito.
The Teleferico system in Quito is one of the highest aerial lifts in the world, which rises from 3,117 metres to around 4,000 metres. So for anyone heading to South America and wondering about altitude sickness, pretty much anything above 2,500 metres will cause you to start getting symptoms such as feeling really breathless. Anything like walking up a set of stairs is going to leave you out of breath. You'll also experience some kind of headache or migraine. That's pretty much what we got. And waking up in the middle of the night was a problem. Not going to lie, it wasn't the best part of the trip, but there's nothing you can really do about it. You can try and take remedies and medicines and stuff. So yeah, just take it steady in any sort of altitude above 2,500 meters for the, like, I don't know, first few days or something.
So we've reached the top and it's 4,100 meters, and Yeah, it's a pretty good view, as you'd probably expect.
Scary.
It was a bit sketchy. It was a bit sketchy at points. We've got this amazing view, right? We've got the Cotopaxi volcano, probably the most famous volcano in Ecuador, and a number of others, right? And the first thing that Jazz points out,
I did an accident,
is that somebody has done this. I think it's like an ice cream, but it looks like a turd on a stick with colourful sprinkles.
a sprinkle turd.
I might get one of them. Sprinkle turd.
We're going to get a sprinkle turd.
Let's go get a sprinkle turd. But yeah, very peaceful, very scenic, and the sun is blazing down. Doesn't feel as hot as it should do, but we're getting sunburnt for sure.
We explored parts of Quito Old Town with its Spanish colonial architecture, which we'd find all over South America. The crazy thing was that Quito was probably the place we found most unsafe across the whole of our entire trip.
So we did the Teleferico this morning, and then we came back into town. We had a walk down La Rambla and went for a completely random vegetarian dinner that cost like $3 each. And it came with this like cup of washing up liquid to drink. It wasn't too bad actually.
It was like a prison.
Yeah, it was a bit like a prison. You just showed up.
You get your tray and you get your bowl and you scoop something into your bowl.
It was like being in the clink, to be honest. But it cost $3 each, so I'm not going to knock it. We've now took a quite long taxi journey, which cost $10, to Mitad del Mundo, which is, I think it's translated to the middle of the earth. So we're right on the equator, so we're going to go and have a look in a minute. I think we can stand either side of the equator, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to have our picture next to this sign if you want.
I want to put my head in the O.
You want to put your head in the O? Won't be the first or the last time. Who's that, Jazz?
Neither.
Hey, Nora, you'd have enjoyed that veggie lunch we just had. Still got a bowl of it, ain't you? My right foot is in the northern hemisphere. My left foot is in the southern hemisphere. If my right foot's in the northern hemisphere, my left foot is in the southern hemisphere. Where is my mittil del penis? So, one testicle is probably in the north, one's in the south, and the other one went to France. In Jam's case. Jazz has been moaning she's hungry, and I think I've just found her dinner. Guinea pig, anyone?
Our stay in Quito was rounded off by a trip to Virgil del Panaccio, a 41-metre statue that is actually taller than Christ the Redeemer in Rio, Brazil. In Quito you'll find it stood above the city, and it's actually the tallest aluminium statue anywhere in the world. And please don't tell me you knew that before watching this video. So there we go, full of interesting facts on this channel. Getting adjusted to life in South America, it was time to head to the Galapagos Islands, which is also part of Ecuador, but located 2.5 hours away by plane.
Good morning, you join us from the Quito airport. We're off to the Galapagos this morning, as you can tell by the bags under my eyes. Just as you're getting into a routine with travelling, and you just get slapped with like having to get up at 4 o'clock. In fact, it was 4:45. But yeah, we're off to the Galapagos today, which should be exciting, but we're just getting some pancakes and some breakfast, and then we're going to board the plane to the Galapagos. So yeah, exciting times. So after a morning of travelling, we made it to Santa Cruz Island in the Galapagos. We just had some dinner, got dropped off by a tour guide, and yeah, we're literally just by the seafront here in Santa Cruz, and it's crazy. Literally opposite the restaurant we went, there's a sea lion just chilling on the floor. You can hear one over there. Can you hear it? What the hell's that noise? It makes some funny noises. But yeah, we've just come over to the bit where the fishermen bring the fish in, and yeah, there's like 3 or 4 sea lions just tossing about in the sea. First impression, Jazzy B?
It's like the zoo!
It's like the zoo.
Oh dear!
So me and Jazz have just tried to catch a bus. We've got nowhere to sit on the bus stop. Bit fishy. We are at our hotel, which is called La Laguna in Isabella Island. So it's been a bit of a weird day of travel. We obviously flew this morning from Quito to the Baltra Island. We then got a little ferry across to Santa Cruz Island, where we got a taxi. We then had lunch, saw a bit of the like the main strip there, and then we caught a ferry. To get on the ferry, we had to get on a water taxi. The ferry here was a bit bumpy and a bit rapido. It took 2 hours to get here. The sea was pretty rough, and then we had to get another water taxi to the pier, a taxi from the pier to the hotel. So it feels like we're back in Southeast Asia with all like the bus to taxi to boat to bus to taxi to all that stuff. Yeah, it feels weird to say that we're on the Galapagos Islands. It really does. And when we arrived earlier and we saw the sea lions and the marine iguanas, which we've seen the second we've got off the ferry on this island, it's just mental. And tomorrow we start our activities, so yeah, exciting times. It's weird, it's like, it feels surreal that we're actually here, because we've watched all the David Attenborough things.
I just said to you, shall we go and watch it?
Yeah, well, I feel like we need to re-watch it, but we're actually here living it. But yeah, I feel buzzing, to be honest. Feel really lucky that we're here, and yeah, hopefully we're going to see a lot of creatures. Yeah, we're going to get sorted and then go for dinner, and then that'll be it for today, and we'll pick it up tomorrow where we're doing some hiking. Really looking forward to that, aren't we, Jazz? Lazy bastards. And then snorkeling and a few other bits, but yeah, super excited. So we're just on a tour now. We're walking through the wetlands on Isabella Island, and we've seen a load of marine iguanas up close on the lava. Pretty cool. We're just climbing up to a viewpoint, and the sun's decided to break through the cloud, and it's red hot, sticky, and we're blowing out of our arses. So we're finally back at the hotel after our experience this morning. We ended up walking, it was about 6 miles in the end, to be able to see the marine iguanas, the giant tortoises in the wild. What else did we see? Crabs, flamingos, these little birds that were really curious and kept coming up to your feet and having a look at you. It was just amazing. Just got back to the hotel, had some lunch cooked by the guy in the hotel restaurant. Like, it was so good. Yeah, we had his grandma's Ecuadorian Colombian soup.
It always tastes better when it's from somebody else's grandma.
It always does. Yeah, my grandma's food weren't great, but his grandma's food was great. And we're just having a chill for 5 or 10, and then we're going to Los Tintores, I think that's how you say it, and it's a little island just off the coast of Isabella where we're staying. I'm going to be snorkeling there, hopefully seeing maybe some more iguanas actually in the sea. Maybe some boobies. Oi, oi. Maybe some white-tipped reef sharks, maybe some turtles, maybe even some sea lions. But yeah, we're going to take the waterproof camera and see what we can find out. Just like that, it's the end of our second / first full day in the Galapagos. It's been nothing short of spectacular. We're absolutely knackered. We've walked about 55 miles, we've swam about 23 miles, but it's all been worth it. We've seen about 12 different animals. Excited to see what tomorrow's got in store, so we're just going to go and have some food and maybe a cerveza and then get to bed ready for tomorrow. So yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings. So good morning, we're on day 3 in Isabella Island and we're off on a trip this morning to, I think it's the highlands of the island. We're going to be visiting a cave, some viewpoint and something else. We don't really know what it entails, but yeah, looking forward to it after yesterday, which was just, still can't get over it. We've just been to visit Cueva de Sucre, which is a cave that used to go on for about 150 metres, 200 metres underground. So yeah, knackered, pretty cool. It's just starting to get hot. So it's our last day here on Isabella Island and we're going to do the Los Tuneles tour, which apparently a couple of people have said is the best snorkeling tour that we'll get to do. And I think we've got to go on a boat for about 40 minutes and then get to a place or an island where we're going to snorkel from. So yeah, looking forward to that. As you know, me and Jazz love snorkeling, so yeah, it's going to be a good day. And the good thing is we've got a later start this morning. Normally all the tours have been 8 AM starts, whereas today it's 11 AM, so happy about that.
The repeat, I guess they get
Oh yeah.
like a magma field, and over time as the sea levels receded and you get covered in flies, it sank into the sea basically, and now it's just like an oasis of like cactuses, lava rock and sea life. We've seen like 5 sea turtles just swimming around, there's eagle rays, there's all sorts. Honestly, it's just another spectacular place in the Galapagos, and in a minute we're going to jump in and go and do some snorkeling. So we had to leave the water because the guide saw a tiger shark, and for the first time he's seen a tiger shark here, which is incredible.
Normally it's normal to find them behind the waves. Or inside the reef.
Not here.
No, not here.
So why is it that close?
Crazy.
Laid on the sea, nothing makes sense. Don't know what you mean. You can't put all things aside. There's no way out, and God knows I've tried. You wait.
So we're coming to the end of our stay in Isabella Island. It's our last day today, and it's been just like incredible. I don't know how to describe it because each day seems to have just got better and better. So yeah, today we did the Los Toneles tour, and we saw the mad sort of lava and magma formations, but the main attraction was the sea life. We must have seen at least 12-15 turtles. We saw a sea lion, we managed to swim with one. It came right up in my face, looked at me and then did the mad little flip. You'll see on the footage, it was just so cool. We saw turtles mating out at the sea, it was just crazy. Never seen anything like it. We saw manta rays, eagle rays. We saw a white-tipped reef shark. But yeah, the mad thing, we were doing the first snorkeling session and the guide like kind of flipped out, started swimming towards us really fast, and we were like, what the hell's going on? He saw a 3-meter long tiger shark, and he'd never seen one in that area before. They're normally quite far out at sea. So he was panicking and he was like, everybody back to the boat, back to the boat. So I didn't know if he was joking at the time or not, but yeah, I don't think half the group even knew, but there was a potential that we could have been eaten by a 3-meter long tiger shark. So yeah, that was pretty weird and scary at the same time. But yeah, I'm chuffed, and we're going to go out for some food, and we got a nice 5:30 pickup tomorrow, AM that is, and we're going on a ferry back to Santa Cruz. But yeah, I'm absolutely made up with our stay here. It's been the best, so chuffed. So it's our last full day here in the Galapagos, and we got the ferry yesterday at 5:30 AM, something like that, so it was a pretty rough get up. But we had a cool day yesterday. We were exploring the local tortoise breeding centre and the Charles Darwin Research Centre, and we had a really good guide for the day. His name's Caesar. He literally lives like a few houses away, and when he picked us up and introduced himself, he was like, hi, my name's Caesar. Some people call me El Capitan, some people call me Cheche. And we were like, righto. And then as we were driving around the town, he was like stopping and like waving to people, and everyone was like, El Capitan, hey, El Capitan, how are you? And all this stuff. So literally knew every single person that we drove past yesterday. But yeah, we went to the Charles Darwin Research Centre, and then we went up to the Highlands. Yeah, it was a good day, and he was a really, really good guide, really friendly bloke. So yeah, fun times.
He can't.
Up.
Yay!
Look at me. Look in front. Look in front me. Yes.
So yeah, today is our last final day and there's no tours or anything. We booked an extra night on top of our original tour and we're going to go down to Tortuga Bay. So we're in Puerto Ayora, which is the main town in Santa Cruz where we are. Yeah, we're going to get our way down to Tortuga Bay, which is 2-3 kilometers from where we are. Apparently you can walk there and get a boat back or get a boat there and back, but we're going to see, play it by ear. But yeah, looking forward to a nice relaxing beach day today. And then we fly back to Quito tomorrow. So yeah, last day. It's been incredible. Like, I keep saying incredible and spectacular and all the superlatives to describe such a place. And yeah, I've run out of words, to be honest. But that's how good it is. And yeah, if you ever get to come here, then you're going to be in for such a treat. It doesn't matter where you necessarily go, what tours you do. There's that many animals, even just in the towns. It's just gobsmacking really, and yeah, we've loved it.
Oh, here, the ocean is near, where you dug a hole and buried my fear. We scattered like trees, sometimes in line. I'm down all the time.
After the trip of a lifetime to the Galapagos, we returned to Ecuador and headed to Banos, the adventure capital of the country.
So we've arrived at our hostel in Banos and the bus journey was closer to 4 hours, like 3 hours 40 or something like that. And we thought it was actually going to be pretty comfy to start with, but then soon realised like the angle of the seat was just not good. And then literally every stop, someone was jumping on selling like papas fritas, like crisps, sweets. There was a clown jumped on board. And then he gave everyone these sweets and then basically tried flogging them, and then when you didn't buy them he snatched them out your hands, and yeah, it was all a bit bizarre to be honest, but in Banos, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. So we've made a slight change of plan. We've come up to the Casa del Arbol, I think it's called. Arbol even, and it's basically a famous place in Banos, which is like overlooking this crazy sort of mountain range. I think we're at about 2,600 metres now, probably why we can't catch our breath. But yeah, it's mad, like we are above the clouds in some places, below in others, and we've just got off the bus here, which only cost $1 to get here, and it's just started thundering. But we don't see any rain and we don't see any lightning, which is strange. But yeah, the views over here are just amazing. Hola! ¿Cómo estás, Jasmine? Buenos dias, and we're on day 4 in Banos. We were meant to go and do the waterfall biking thing the other day, but we just didn't get round to it. We've been doing some other stuff. But yeah, hopefully today we're going to get some bikes hired and we're going to make our way down to the waterfalls. So it's basically a route, follows the main road out of Banos and down through the valley where there's multiple waterfalls you can stop at. I think there's like zip lining places and stuff like that. So if you do come to Banos, it's one of the most popular things to do. So we stopped at this first walk. Me and Jazz have decided for some strange reason that we want to do a zip wire and a cable car back. It looks terrifying and the health and safety standards don't look great. So this could be the last video you ever see of me and Jazz. So if it is, see you later. So we're at the top of the zip line just waiting for our go, and there's like loads of locals going to laugh at us because Jazz is going to scream probably the whole way. Why do we put ourselves in these situations, man? I hate heights, absolutely hate heights. Oh.
You scared? It's on, is it good?
So we just did the zip line, as you'd have probably seen on the video, but yeah, it wasn't too bad in the end. Just that first bit before you get going is just a little bit scary. We just stopped on the way, and there's like this adventure bridge where you can bungee off and swing. It looks fucking terrifying.
We got our bikes onto the back of a wagon and got carted back to town. The next day we returned to Quito and waved goodbye to Ecuador as we caught a flight to Panama. So we were heading across the San Blas Islands in Panama all the way to Colombia. But first we had a whistle-stop boat tour of Panama City, the Panama Canal and a local wildlife reserve.
So yeah, we've just got back from the boat tour. It was a pretty good afternoon actually. We got picked up about 2 o'clock and we've not long got back. It's about 6:30 now. But yeah, we saw, was it like 3 different types of monkey? The crazy thing was we saw 2 crocodiles. One to me looked about 5 feet long, was it something like that? And then I was thinking, if there's crocodile infested waters, why is our boat guy going through this really thick weed which we actually got tangled up in water? This boat driver thinks he can get through this really thick weed. It completely jams all the engine up and we're there, the engine cuts out, we're literally stranded, potentially gonna die because there's crocodiles all around us. Like, yeah, if you come to Panama and you want to see a bit of the Panama Canal, you want to see a bit of the rainforest, then definitely do that tour. Yeah, Panama's quite cool. It's like a mix of old, new and Slumdog Millionaire. There's like the new city with the big skyscrapers, There's the old town, which is like really colonial, old Spanish sort of influence. And then there's this bit of town that's like really rough. So tomorrow we're gonna go to do a bit of shopping. We've got a meeting with the group that we're going on our San Blas adventure tour. You'll find out a bit more about that later. But we've got to get a few supplies, we've got to buy some rum. But yeah, all in all, good start in Panama. We're only here for like a week once we've done the sort of San Blas Islands tour. But so far so good.
And with our rum in hand and bags packed, the following morning we were collected at stupid o'clock to begin what would be a real life-changing trip across the San Blas Islands. Located off the shores of Panama, there are 365 San Blas Islands located in the beautiful Caribbean Sea.
So if you can hear me over the wind, we've just stopped at the first island on our San Blas Adventures tour. As you can see, it's an absolute paradise. Yeah, just surrounded by completely coral turquoise seas, white sand and beautiful sunshine. We're having lunch here, doing some snorkeling, and then we're off to the next place. But yeah, this is incredible.
Bring my girlfriend on holiday with me, you boring bastard. Fucking help me. No, sorry. No, don't worry. I'm not.
Not his girlfriend, it's his cousin. He's Dutch.
Bring your girlfriend on holiday. That's alright. Get a fucking grip, man.
So we're at our island for the night, and to be honest, we've been playing drinking games all afternoon with the gang of people that we've met. And yeah, it's going south. Tonight we're staying in hammocks. I know Jazz ain't a big fan of that setup, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, we're having a good laugh. The group we've got here is so funny.
Waiting for 3 days.
Smile every on you in my video. So we're on day 2 on our San Blas Adventures tour. I've got these Nancy glasses on that I had to buy from the supermarket. Hopefully you can hear me, the wind is quite strong. But yeah, last night we basically kicked back, played some more drinking games, had some dinner. But yeah, we tried to get to sleep then. We were staying on hammocks, basically. We've never stayed on a hammock before, and yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable, to be honest. I had a cockroach crawling on me at like 4 AM or something. So after breakfast this morning we took it was about a 3-hour boat to get to this island where we are now. And yeah, much of the same as yesterday. It's just paradise. Like, think of a white beach in the Caribbean surrounded by palm trees, blue skies and blue seas, and that's where we are. We're going to move on in a couple of hours to the place where we're staying tonight, which I think is more of a larger island with some of the indigenous Kuna community living there. So yeah, we'll see what that brings. But yeah, so far so good.
What's that?
You're in my video, mate.
Easy, fellas.
So we're at our final spot for the second night on this tour. We're on a Kuna village island. So Kunas are the indigenous people here in Panama, in the San Blas Islands. They're autonomous, which means they're not governed by anyone. They control themselves. I think each little town or village has its own little chief. So yeah, interesting. But the spot is pretty cool. We're just drinking some beers, playing volleyball. The sun looks incredible. And tonight we're actually staying in an actual bed. After last night's hammock inconvenience, we're in actual beds. I mean, there's like 7-8 people in our room, but that's absolutely fine because the beds look okay. So yeah, about to drink more rum, back to drinking some more beers, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the night. But so far so good on this San Blas tour. Like, it's been epic.
Good Robbie!
Because Robbie is our mate, and when we drink them.
It's too late as she's walking up by. It's all sides away. We'll turn them back in anger. I heard you say.
Come on, Carlos.
So outside, get away.
Hello everyone, it's our third full day on this San Blas Adventures tour. Last night was pretty good actually. We actually got like a bed. Food was really good as well. I managed to get some chicken. Like, everything has been fish. So yeah, we're on another island now. Another little paradise. It's a great setup. Volleyball, hammocks, little shop, great snorkeling, white sands. Same as pretty much the last few days. Some of the things that we've seen and done have been amazing, but like the people are just incredible. The people are better than the islands. We've got a really good group. There's like 22, 24 of us. People from Israel, Switzerland, Germany, quite a few Brits, Danish couple, and yeah, it's good because we all get along as well. So we're going to go play some volleyball, and then we're going to go on to the place we're staying tonight. But yeah, sick. Say something like inspiring.
So, something inspiring, yeah?
Yeah.
Straight to the camera.
You've got words of wisdom.
We are Leeds.
Got to say something inspirational.
Volleyball for life, mate.
Pete?
Take it to your mate.
Let's win before we're both dancing at the end of a rope to the sound of no music.
I got something. Hooker's son.
I'm going around getting everyone to say something inspirational.
So
always wipe your ass.
But where'd you put the paper after?
Yeah, depends on where you are.
As each hour passed, the island seemed to get more and more beautiful. We were then treated to a dance performance by the local Kuna community, followed by a trip over to the nearby island on a traditional Kuna boat.
We're going to get thrown off course.
Once we arrived at the Kuna island, we got settled in before exploring the village. Because of the COVID pandemic, we were one of the first outside people they'd seen in over 2 years, which was as strange for them as it was for us. So the Kuna people are an isolated community inhabiting the San Blas Islands, and they actually have the highest albino population anywhere in the world. The albino people are supposedly said to be gods sent from the moon. As you can imagine, our experience here was truly unique.
Really nice cat.
I think you're beautifully connected.
Hola.
Hola, amigos.
Amigos.
So amigos?
Once we arrived back to camp, we did what we do best and drank copious amounts of rum and beer. This was our final night as a group, so we definitely wanted to end it with a bang.
Oh, come on, play. I said that. Let's go. We're starting now. I declare a game of 21. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4, 5.
Good morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Day 4 of the San Blas Islands adventure tour, and yeah, it's been one for the record books. think like every day we seem to be getting up with like a worse hangover, so I don't know how that's possible. But we've made the trip into Colombia now. We stayed at like a Cuna local community hostel type place last night. It was good though. Me and Jazz finally got a private room with a single bed each, so that was quite nice. And yeah, we went for a little walk around the local Cuna village, which really interesting. They haven't had people for 2 years because of COVID visit them, so we were like one of the first groups to visit, so you know, all the kids are excited and looking and stuff like that. But yeah, we've just crossed the border for Panama. We had to stamp out, fill in the immigration form for Colombia. We're now just stopping at this beach in Colombia for some lunch, and then we go to our final destination, which is Capagana. And from there, that's it, the end of the tour. And yeah, it's weird, mixed feelings. I'm happy to be going into like a hotel with some like hot shower, nice bed and stuff like that. But it's going to be sad leaving everyone, you know. We're all in a giant WhatsApp group now, so we might bump into some people along the rest of our trip. I think there's plans for some of us to go straight up to Medellin, so let's see what happens.
We did many of these tours along our South America adventure, but this one really stood out. It was really special. Not only because of the mind-blowing islands we visited, but the group of people we were with was really amazing. Now, I wouldn't normally shout out people in my videos, but we really made some great friends for life. Here's a huge shout out to everyone that made this trip as special as it was. So here's a big thanks to Dom and Abby, Pete and Tash, Travis, Robin, Jack the Lad, Chris and Rihanna, Katty and Johanna, B, Carlos, Cecilia, Fred, and of course Eddie, Diego and Carolyn. I wish you guys all the best in the future, and yeah, let's get this reunion set up pretty soon. Anyway, enough of that mushy stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and before you go, let's have a look what's coming up in episode 2. We make our way to mainland Colombia and travel across the Caribbean coast, where things weren't all plain sailing.
By far the worst decision we've ever made. Like, not even on this trip in our entire life.
We then make our way down to Medellin, where we became football hooligans and go on a bizarre Pablo Escobar tour.
So strangely enough, that there is Pablo Escobar's grave.
Next we headed to the famous coffee region and explored the town of Salento, which you may be familiar with if you've watched Disney's Encanto. We then end in the capital, Bogota, before heading to Peru for a swim with some sea lions. Next we head to the desert before surviving an intense trip to the Amazon rainforest.
It's crazy, you watch like these David Attenborough programs, nature documentaries and that, and they make out that everything in the jungle's out to get you. Trust me, if you come here and do it, you realise that everything is probably out to get you. Even like the bamboo trees have got spikes in that could potentially kill you. Yeah, like poisonous spiders, insects that want to eat you alive, fruit that can kill you. Mad intense experience, but enjoyed it. I'm glad we're alive, and I'm so itchy.
They're nice fish.
And finally, we end episode 2 on an epic trip to the ancient Inca Empire of Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu right behind. Incredible.
So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and check out my Instagram at Robbie Roams, where you can see some of the photos from this trip. I'll see you all in episode 2. P.S. Here's some amazing Spanish that I learned along the journey. Muchas gracias. Adios.